Sienna slammed the door of her therapist's office, her hands trembling as she clutched the receipt for yet another session that promised to fix her. $20,000 down the drain, and all she felt was emptier, more fractured than before. But nothing prepared her for the email that pinged on her phone that evening. Dr. Elaine Harper, her ex-therapist, was headlining a TED Talk titled, "Embracing My Truth." Coming out after years of denial. Sienna's heart raced as she clicked the link, her mind reeling back to those grueling sessions where Dr. Harper had drilled into her that her feelings for women were a phase, a trauma response, something to be eradicated with prayer, affirmations, and endless cognitive exercises. "You're not broken, Sienna," the doctor had said with that calm, authoritative voice. "But we can redirect these urges." Now, watching the video from her cramped apartment in Chicago, Sienna saw Dr. Harper tall, poised, with her signature bob haircut, step onto the stage under bright lights, her voice steady but laced with emotion. "For years I lived a lie," Harper confessed, convincing myself and others that homosexuality was a choice to be undone. "But today I stand here as a lesbian woman, free at last." The betrayal hit Sienna like a freight train. How could the person who'd taken her money, her trust, her vulnerability, now parade her own awakening as some inspirational tale? Sienna's thoughts swirled in a storm of anger and confusion. She'd sacrificed so much, her savings from waitressing double shifts, her fragile self-esteem, to believe in that cure. Her family had pushed her into it, her devout Catholic parents insisting that God had a plan, that this therapy was her path to normalcy. "We love you, but we can't support this lifestyle," her mother had said, tears in her eyes, handing over the brochure for Harper's clinic. And Sienna, desperate for their approval, had gone along, burying her memories of stolen kisses with girls in college, convincing herself it was all a mistake. As the video played on, Harper detailed her own journey. A conservative upbringing in Texas, a marriage to a man that crumbled under the weight of unspoken desires, and finally, a relationship with a woman that opened her eyes. The audience applauded, but Sienna felt nausea rising. This wasn't just hypocrisy, it was theft. She'd paid for lies, for a facade that Harper herself couldn't maintain. Pacing her living room, Sienna's mind raced through the what-ifs. What if she'd never gone? What if she'd embraced who she was earlier? The thought of Paige flickered in her mind. Paige, her college roommate, the one who'd made her heart flutter with a single glance, but whom she'd pushed away after starting therapy. Paige. God, Paige. They hadn't spoken in years, not since Sienna had abruptly ended their budding romance, citing personal issues. But now, with Harper's confession echoing in her ears, Sienna wondered if Paige had seen this too. She grabbed her phone, fingers hovering over Paige's old number. No, she couldn't. Not yet. Instead, she replayed the video, pausing on Harper's face, searching for remorse. There was none visible, just triumph. Sienna's anger boiled over into a decision. She would confront Harper, publicly if needed. But first she needed allies, or at least closure. The next morning, Sienna skipped work and drove to the local LGBTQ center in downtown Chicago. The building was unassuming, a converted warehouse with rainbow flags fluttering outside. Inside, the air smelled of coffee and fresh paint, voices murmuring in support groups. She signed up for a session, her hands still shaky. "I'm here because my therapist outed herself after trying to convert me," she blurted to the counselor, a kind-faced woman named Maria. Maria's eyes widened, then softened. "Conversion therapy? That's illegal in Illinois now, but the damage lingers. You're not alone." As Maria listened, Sienna poured out the story. The isolation, the self-doubt, the family dinners where her parents prayed for her healing. Internally, Sienna battled waves of guilt. Had she been weak for seeking the therapy? Or was it her family's pressure that broke her? "They think they're saving my soul," she whispered. "But they're killing my spirit." Maria nodded, suggesting she connect with survivors groups. "Healing starts with community," she said. Leaving the center, Sienna felt a spark of resolve. She texted her best friend, Lena, who she distanced herself from during therapy. "Need to talk. Big news about Dr. Harper." Lena replied instantly. "On my way. Wine ready." At Lena's apartment that evening, over glasses of Merlot, Sienna replayed the TED Talk. Lena's jaw dropped. "That bitch. She took your money and now she's profiting off her journey? We should sue. The idea planted a seed. Suing Harper could expose the fraud, but it would drag Sienna's private struggles into the open. Her parents would disown her for sure. I can't, Sienna said, but her mind whispered otherwise. What price was she willing to pay for truth? As the night wore on, Lena pushed her. You've hidden long enough. Remember Paige? She loved you for you. The mention stung. Paige had been her first real love. Laughing over late-night study sessions, sharing secrets under dorm blankets. Ending it had shattered them both. Sienna drove home in silence, her thoughts a whirlwind. Confrontation meant risking everything. Family, job, sanity. But staying silent meant letting Harper win. By dawn, she decided. She'd attend Harper's next public event. A book signing for her memoir on personal liberation. It was in New York next week. Sienna booked a flight, her savings dipping lower. This was her turning point or her downfall. In New York, the bookstore buzzed with admirers. Sienna blended in, heart pounding. Harper signed books with a smile, her new partner. A woman with cropped hair by her side. When Sienna's turn came, she slid her receipt across the table. Remember me? You charged me 20 grand to deny who I am. Harper's face paled. Sienna? I'm sorry. I've changed. The apology felt hollow. Sienna's voice rose. Changed? After ruining lives. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Harper's partner intervened, but Sienna pressed on. You preached conversion while hiding your own truth. How many others suffered? Security escorted her out, but the seed of scandal was sown. Social media lit up that night. Clips of the confrontation went viral. Back in Chicago, Sienna's phone exploded with messages. Support from strangers, outrage from Harper's fans. Her parents called furious. What have you done? This is embarrassing the family. Her father's voice boomed. Internally, Sienna crumbled. Was exposing Harper worth this rift? Yet, a message from an unknown number stood out. Sienna, it's Paige. Saw the video. We need to talk. Paige's message hung in Sienna's notifications like a ghost from the past, stirring emotions she'd buried deep. She stared at her phone in the dim light of her apartment, her mind racing through memories of their college days. Stolen glances in the library, whispered confessions during rainstorms. But she'd ended it all, convinced by her family and then by Harper that it was wrong, sinful, a deviation to be corrected. Now with Harper's hypocrisy exposed, Sienna typed back. Paige? Where? When? They met at a quiet cafe in Wrigleyville, the kind with mismatched chairs and the hum of espresso machines. Paige arrived first, looking every bit the confident architect she'd become. Short blonde hair tousled just right. A leather jacket over a crisp shirt. Sienna's breath caught. Time had only sharpened Paige's edges, made her more magnetic. You look good, Sienna said, sliding into the booth, her voice barely above a whisper. Paige's eyes, those piercing blue ones, held a mix of hurt and curiosity. You too. Though I didn't expect to see you going viral confronting your therapist. The words carried an undercurrent of accusation. Sienna winced internally. How could she explain the years of self-denial? The therapy that twisted her love for Paige into something shameful. I was lost, she admitted. My parents. They made me believe I could change. Harper reinforced it. As they talked, Paige leaned forward, her voice low and intense. Do you know what that did to me? You vanished, Sienna. One day we're planning a future, the next you're gone, saying it's not right. I thought I did something wrong. The pain in her tone cut deep. Sienna's thoughts screamed. I hurt her to save myself, but from what? A love that felt more real than anything? I'm sorry, Sienna whispered. I paid $20,000 to erase you from my heart. It didn't work. Paige's expression softened slightly, but the tension remained. And now? With Harper coming out, does that change everything? Sienna nodded, tears welling. It exposes the lie. But my family. They're furious. Dad says I'm destroying our name. Paige reached across the table, then pulled back, as if remembering old wounds. Families can be prisons. Mine disowned me when I came out fully after college. It hurt, but I built my own life. The conversation shifted to Harper's fallout. Paige had followed the story online. Lawsuits brewing from former patients, media scrutiny. You're brave for calling her out, Paige said. But be careful. She's fighting back, claiming she was evolving. Sienna's resolve hardened. I won't stop. Maybe a class action suit. Internally she weighed the cost. Alienating her parents forever, facing public judgment. Was truth worth the isolation? Days later, Sienna's mother showed up unannounced at her door, her face etched with worry and anger. Sienna, this has to stop. You're on the news. What will the church say? They sat in the kitchen, tension thick. Sienna's mind raced. How do I make her see? Mom, Harper lied to us. She was gay all along, taking our money. Her mother shook her head. That's her sin. But you. We thought therapy would help you find a husband, a family. The word stung like salt in a wound. Sienna's inner voice rebelled. A family? Like the one suffocating me? I don't want that if it means denying who I am. Her mother teared up. God doesn't make mistakes, but the devil tempts. We're praying for you. The visit ended in stalemate, Sienna feeling more alone than ever. She called Paige that night. My mom's here to save me. It's exhausting. Paige's response was swift. Come over. You need space. At Paige's loft in Lincoln Park, surrounded by blueprints and modern art, Sienna felt a glimmer of safety. They talked late into the night, Paige sharing her own battles, job discrimination early on, friends who drifted away. I dated others after you, Paige confessed. But it never felt the same. Sienna's heart ached with regret. Had she thrown away their chance for nothing? The next morning a bombshell email arrived. Harper's lawyers contacting Sienna, offering a settlement to drop any claims. Hush money, Paige sneered, reading over her shoulder. Don't take it. But Sienna hesitated. The sum was tempting, enough to recoup her losses, start fresh. Internally turmoil brewed. Accept and betray the cause or fight and risk bankruptcy. What if I lose everything? She voiced. Paige's eyes flashed. You've already lost years to fear. Fight for us, for all of us. The us hung heavy, reigniting old sparks. But Sienna pulled back. Memories of therapy's indoctrination whispering doubts. Was rekindling with Paige a betrayal of her family's values? Or the ultimate act of self-liberation? As weeks passed, Sienna joined a survivors group, hearing stories that mirrored hers, broken engagements, suicidal thoughts, fractured families. One woman, Clara, shared how her therapy led to a sham marriage that ended in divorce. The price was my happiness, Clara said. Sienna nodded, her own costs tallying. Lost love, depleted savings, eroded trust. Motivated, she declined the settlement, opting for a lawsuit with others. Her father called, voice thunderous. You're suing? This is madness. We'll cut you off. The threat landed hard. Sienna's thoughts spiraled. Am I choosing revenge over blood? But silence meant complicity. Dad, it's about justice, she replied, hanging up with a heavy heart. Paige supported her through it, their meetings growing frequent. One evening over takeout, Paige admitted, I never stopped caring. Sienna's pulse quickened, but fear held her back. What if history repeated? The lawsuit gained traction, media interviews piling up. Sienna spoke out on podcasts, her voice gaining strength. Conversion therapy steals lives, she declared. Yet backlash mounted. Online trolls harassed her, calling her a bitter ex-patient. Her boss at the restaurant hinted at reduced shifts. Internally, Sienna questioned, is this worth the damage? But Paige's encouragement anchored her. You're changing things, Paige said. The high came crashing when Sienna's sister, Emily, texted, Mom's in the hospital. Stress from all this. Guilt flooded Sienna. Had her actions caused this? Rushing to the ER, she found her mother pale, hooked to monitors. See what you've done, her father accused. Sienna's inner monologue screamed. My truth is hurting them. Am I the villain? Sienna sat by her mother's hospital bed, the beeps of machines punctuating the silence like accusations. Her mother's eyes fluttered open, weak but sharp. Sienna, why are you doing this to us? The question pierced deeper than any lawsuit. Internally, Sienna wrestled. My fight for authenticity versus their pain. Whose suffering matters more? Mom, it's not about hurting you. It's about stopping the lies that hurt me. Her mother sighed, turning away. We wanted the best for you. A normal life. The word normal echoed in Sienna's mind, a reminder of years spent chasing an illusion. Leaving the hospital, she called Paige. Mom's blaming me. Maybe I should drop it. Paige's voice was firm. That's what they want, to guilt you into silence. Don't let them. The lawsuit progressed, depositions revealing Harper's double life, affairs during her straight marriage, notes from sessions admitting doubts about the therapy's efficacy. Sienna's testimony was grueling, reliving sessions where Harper had her visualize heterosexual futures. It made me hate myself, Sienna said in court, voice cracking. Harper on the stand defended. I believed it then. My evolution doesn't invalidate past efforts. The media frenzy intensified. A national news segment featured Sienna as a whistleblower, but conservative outlets painted her as vengeful. Her inbox filled with hate mail. You're going to hell. Internally, doubt crept in. Am I strong enough for this war? Paige became her rock, cooking dinners, offering shoulders for tears. We're in this together, Paige said one night, their hands brushing. A spark Sienna couldn't ignore. But tension brewed. Paige pushed for more. When this is over, what about us? Sienna hesitated. I need time. My family's fracturing. Paige's frustration showed. Time? We lost years because of that fear. The argument escalated, old wounds reopening. You left me, Paige yelled. Sienna shot back. I was brainwashed. They parted angry, Sienna's mind in chaos. Love or loyalty? Which betrayal is worse? Reconciliation with family seemed impossible. At a tense dinner, her father laid it out. Drop the suit or you're out of the will. Emily, her sister, mediated. We love you, but this is tearing us apart. Sienna's inner voice pleaded. Compromise for peace? But compromise meant denying justice. I can't, she said, leaving amid tears. Support came unexpectedly from Clara, the group member. My family came around eventually, Clara shared. Inspired, Sienna reached out to LGBTQ advocates, securing pro bono help. The case gained allies, a celebrity endorsement, petitions with thousands of signatures. Yet, personal costs mounted. Her job fired her, citing distractions. Broke, she moved in with Lena temporarily. Paige called after days of silence. I miss you, but I can't wait forever. They met at a park, autumn leaves crunching underfoot. I'm scared, Sienna admitted, of losing everyone. Paige's eyes softened. You won't lose me if you choose yourself. The moment felt pivotal, but Sienna pulled away. Internally, timing's wrong. The fight first. Harper's team countered with dirt. Leaked emails from Sienna's sessions, twisted to show her as unstable. Social media exploded. Sienna lies trending. Sienna's confidence shattered. They're ruining me, she told Lena. Lena hugged her. Fight fire with truth. A turning point came at a rally for banning conversion therapy nationwide. Sienna spoke, voice trembling. I paid the price in dollars and dignity. Don't let others suffer. The crowd cheered, including surprise attendees, former patients rallying behind her. Paige was there, front row, applauding. Afterward, they embraced briefly. Proud of you, Paige whispered. But betrayal struck from within. Emily, under parental pressure, leaked family texts to a reporter, portraying Sienna as rebellious. The article hit. Family feud. Lesbian daughter sues therapist, splits kin. Sienna confronted Emily. How could you? Emily cried. They made me. I'm sorry. The hurt ran deep. Internally, blood betrayal cuts deepest. Trust gone. Isolated, Sienna spiraled into depression, questioning every choice. Was it worth it? She journaled. Paige visited, bringing soup. Yes, because you're awakening others. Their talk turned intimate. Not physical but emotional. Paige shared her own therapy post-breakup, healing from abandonment. We both paid prices, Paige said. Motivated, Sienna pushed forward. The trial date loomed, evidence mounting against Harper. But Harper played dirty, offering settlements to co-plaintiffs, isolating Sienna. Clara accepted. I need the money for my kids. Sienna felt abandoned. Everyone's bailing, she told Paige. Paige's response. Not me. Let's expose her fully. They dug deeper, finding Harper's financials. Profits from the memoir soaring amid controversy. She's capitalizing on our pain, Sienna realized. They leaked it anonymously, shifting public opinion. The eve of trial, Sienna's mother called. Please stop. For me. Torn, Sienna wavered. Internally. Mother's health versus my integrity? She hung up resolute. In court, Harper took the stand again, tearful. I regret the harm. But cross-examination revealed lies. Continued private sessions post coming out. Sienna's lawyer hammered. You profited from fraud. The jury leaned sympathetic. Outside, protesters clashed. Supporters versus religious groups chanting repent. Sienna's anxiety peaked. Paige waited in the hall. Whatever happens, you're free now. The verdict came swiftly. Guilty of fraud, Harper ordered to pay restitution. Sienna's share. Enough to rebuild. Cheers erupted, but victory felt bittersweet. Her phone rang. Dad. We're done. The cutoff stung. Post-trial media swarmed. Sienna declared. This is for every silenced voice. But internally exhaustion hit. What now? Paige suggested a trip. Clear your head. They drove to the countryside talking futures. I want us, Paige said. Sienna, healing, replied. Me too. But shadows lingered. Family rift unhealed. The restitution check arrived like a hollow victory. Deposited into Sienna's account with little fanfare. 20,000 back, plus damages, but no amount could mend the scars. She stared at the balance on her phone, thinking. Money fixes finances, not fractured souls. Paige celebrated with a quiet dinner at her loft, toasting to new beginnings. Yet Sienna's mind wandered to her family, the silence from them deafening since the verdict. Weeks later, an invitation came. A family gathering for Emily's birthday. Come if you can forgive, the note read. Sienna debated internally. Reconcile or protect my peace? Paige advised caution. They hurt you deeply. But blood pulled strong. She went alone, arriving at the suburban Chicago home where childhood memories flooded. Backyard barbecues, holiday prayers. Her father opened the door, stern but weary. Sienna. No hug. Inside, the atmosphere was tense. Relatives whispering. Her mother, recovered but frail, pulled her aside. We saw the news. You're famous now. The sarcasm bit. Sienna held firm. Infamous, maybe. But I stood for truth. Dinner was awkward, conversation skirting the elephant. Then her uncle, a pastor, spoke up. What you did to Dr. Harper. It's unforgivable. She was helping people. The room erupted. Sienna's voice rose. Helping? She lied, took money, destroyed lives, including mine. Her father slammed his fist. Enough. You've shamed us. Emily teared up. I leaked those texts. I'm sorry, but you forced our hand. The betrayal reignited. Internally, forgiveness? Or final cut? Sienna stood. I came for family. But if it's conditional on denying myself, I'm out. She left, heart heavy. Paige waited at home with open arms. How bad? Sienna collapsed into sobs. They're lost to me. Paige's comfort turned to confession. During the trial, I almost walked away. The drama. It's a lot. Sienna pulled back. What? Paige explained. I love you, but the constant battles. Family, society wear me down. I want stability. The revelation shook Sienna. Had her fight cost her love too? Internally. Am I toxic now? I understand, she said, but resentment simmered. They argued. You pushed me to fight. Sienna accused. Paige retorted. For you, not us, endlessly. The night ended in separate rooms, tension unresolved. Society's backlash continued. Job interviews faltered. Employers wary of her controversial past. Too much baggage, one said. Sienna turned to advocacy, speaking at events, but exhaustion mounted. A particularly hostile cue. Aren't you just bitter because therapy didn't work? The question triggered flashbacks to Harper's office. It worked by breaking me, she replied. Paige's doubts grew. Maybe we need space, she suggested. Sienna's world cracked. After all this, lose her again? Is it me or the chaos? Paige sighed. Both. I came out years ago, I've paid my dues. The breakup loomed, Sienna's mind screaming. My choices ripple, destroying everything. Desperate, Sienna sought therapy, real this time with an affirming counselor. You've internalized the trauma, the therapist said. Sessions unpacked layers. Parental expectations as chains, Harper's betrayal as a mirror of self-deception. Forgive yourself first, was the advice. Inspired, Sienna wrote an op-ed. The Cost of Conversion, My Story. It went viral, drawing support but also threats. One night, her car was vandalized. Freak spray painted on the side. Fear gripped her. Paige returned briefly. This is dangerous. Stop. But Sienna couldn't. Stopping means they win. The rift widened. Paige moved out temporarily to think. Alone, Sienna reflected. Was love a casualty of justice? She threw herself into work, founding a support network for survivors. Meetings filled with stories. Teens disowned, adults rebuilding. Your courage inspires, one said. Family reached out sporadically. A card from mom. Praying for you. No apology. Sienna responded. Pray for understanding. Emily called. I miss you. Dad's stubborn but mom's softening. Hope flickered but caution prevailed. Paige's return was tentative. I want to try, she said over coffee. But boundaries, no more all-consuming fights. Sienna agreed, internally vowing balance. They rebuilt slowly, dates feeling like rediscovery. Yet society intruded. A bill to ban conversion therapy stalled in Congress, opponents citing religious freedom. Sienna lobbied, testifying in D.C. This isn't freedom. It's abuse. Harper, disgraced but vocal, countered in interviews. I was a victim too, of societal pressure. The hypocrisy fueled Sienna's fire. Personal awakening came during a quiet moment with Paige. I chose this path knowing the costs, Sienna admitted. Paige nodded. And I choose you again. The commitment felt real but fragile. Tragedy struck. A survivor from her group attempted suicide, blaming lingering shame. Sienna blamed herself. Had she done enough? Guilt consumed her. Paige consoled. You can't save everyone. The experience shifted priorities. Sienna scaled back advocacy, focusing on personal healing. Family Thanksgiving invite arrived. Conditional on no politics. She declined. Until acceptance, no. Paige proposed cohabitation again. Let's build our family. Sienna hesitated. With my baggage? Paige smiled. It's our strength. As winter set in, Sienna reflected on the journey. Betrayals endured, truths unearthed, loves tested. The price? Isolation but also freedom. Internally worth it? Mostly. Spring brought tentative renewal. Chicago streets blooming as Sienna navigated her new normal. The advocacy network thrived under her guidance, but she delegated more, prioritizing balance. Paige moved back in, their loft a sanctuary amid chaos. We've paid enough, Paige said, unpacking boxes. Sienna agreed, though doubts lingered. Can peace last in a world that resists? Family reconciliation inched forward. Emily visited secretly. Mom wants to talk without Dad. At a neutral cafe, her mother arrived, nervous. I read your article. It hurt, but I see your pain now. Tears flowed. Sienna's inner resolve softened. Forgiveness as liberation? I needed you to believe in me, she said. Her mother nodded. I'm trying. The church says. Sienna interrupted. Church or daughter? The question hung unanswered, but a hug followed, the first in years. Dad remained distant, but Emily reported cracks. He's watching documentaries on LGBTQ issues. Hope bloomed cautiously. Sienna shared with Paige. Maybe change is possible. Paige cautioned. Don't rush. Protect your heart. Professionally, Sienna landed a job at a nonprofit, aiding queer youth. Your story resonates, her boss said. Sessions with kids mirrored her past, parental pressure, self-doubt. You're not broken, she told them, echoing what she wished she'd heard. Harper's downfall completed. License revoked, book sales tanked. She issued a public apology. To Sienna and others, I caused irreparable harm. Sienna watched the video, feeling closure mixed with pity. Internally, her awakening came at our expense. Justice served. Social ripples continued. Friends returned, apologies in tow. We didn't understand. But some stayed away, societal divides deep. A wedding invite from a cousin arrived, same-sex inclusive, progress. Paige and Sienna's bond deepened, plans for travel whispered. Europe, no drama, Paige joked. Yet, a heated debate arose, adoption. Kids? With our history. Sienna worried. Paige pushed. We can break the cycle. The discussion revealed fears. Passing on trauma. We'll decide together, they agreed. A major test came at a national conference. Sienna keynote. Sharing her journey. Midway, protesters interrupted. Sinful agenda. Security intervened, but the fear recalled old vulnerabilities. Paige in the audience rushed backstage. You're okay. Sienna trembled. Is this endless? Post-event reflection hit. I've changed laws, minds, but at what cost? Paige held her. The cost of authenticity. Worth every scar. Family breakthrough, Dad emailed. Saw your speech. Proud in my way. Cryptic but a start. Sienna replied. Love means acceptance. Dinner followed, awkward but civil. We're learning, her mother said. Dad grunted agreement. As summer waned, Sienna pondered the full price. 20 grand, lost years, broken trusts, mended hearts. Victories. Self-acceptance. Love reclaimed, voices amplified. Losses. Innocence, easy familial bonds. In a quiet moment, journaling, decisions define us. The right ones hurt most. Paige read it, smiling. Our story's not over. The narrative closed on a pivotal choice. Sienna proposed to Paige under city lights. Despite everything, yes, Paige accepted. But shadows loomed, societal battles ongoing. Was forcing change through confrontation the only path to truth? Or does quiet persistence heal more wounds? Spring brought tentative renewal. Chicago streets blooming as Sienna navigated her new normal. The advocacy network thrived under her guidance, but she delegated more, prioritizing balance. Paige moved back in, their loft a sanctuary amid chaos. We've paid enough, Paige said, unpacking boxes. Sienna agreed, though doubts lingered. Can peace last in a world that resists? Family reconciliation inched forward. Emily visited secretly. Mom wants to talk without Dad. At a neutral cafe, her mother arrived, nervous. I read your article. It hurt, but I see your pain now. Tears flowed. Sienna's inner resolve softened. Forgiveness as liberation? I needed you to believe in me, she said. Her mother nodded. I'm trying. The church says one thing, but my heart. The conversation delved deeper. Her mother admitting fears rooted in her own upbringing. I was taught to fear difference, she confessed. Sienna shared her therapy horrors, the internal battles that nearly broke her. It was like erasing parts of my soul. Her mother really listened for the first time. I don't understand it all, but I love you. The words were a balm, though incomplete. Sienna left with hope but wariness. Paige's reaction was mixed. That's progress, but watch for backsliding. They discussed over dinner, Paige sharing her own family estrangement. Mine never came around. It stings, but I built better. Sienna pondered. Replace blood with chosen family? The idea comforted. Professionally, Sienna landed a job at a nonprofit, aiding queer youth. Your story resonates, her boss said. Sessions with kids mirrored her past, parental pressure, self-doubt, identity crises. One teen, Alex, confided. My parents want therapy to fix me. Sienna's heart ached. Don't let them. You're perfect as is. She connected Alex to resources, feeling purpose renewed. But each story triggered her own trauma. Nights of insomnia where doubts crept. Did I truly heal? Harper's downfall completed. License revoked. Book sales tanked. A quiet retreat from public life. She issued a public apology via video. To Sienna and all former clients, I caused irreparable harm. My journey was selfish. Sienna watched, feeling closure mixed with pity. Internally, her awakening came at our expense. But perhaps redemption exists. Justice served, yet Sienna wondered if forgiveness was next. Social ripples continued. Old friends returned, apologies in tow. We didn't understand back then. Lena hosted a gathering, toasts to resilience. But some stayed away, societal divides deep. A wedding invite from a cousin arrived, same-sex inclusive. A sign of progress in extended family. Paige and Sienna's bond deepened. Plans for travel whispered. Europe, no drama, Paige joked. Yet, a heated debate arose over future steps. Adoption or fostering? Kids? With our history of pain. Sienna worried, visions of repeating cycles. Paige pushed gently. We can break those cycles, show them unconditional love. The discussion revealed deep fears. Sienna's of abandonment, Paige's of instability. We'll decide together when ready. They agreed, strengthening their partnership. A major test came at a national conference in Washington. Sienna keynote, sharing her journey from victim to advocate. Midway, protesters interrupted. Sinful agenda. Repent. Chants echoed, security intervening swiftly. The fear recalled old vulnerabilities, Harper's office, family rejections. Shaken, Sienna finished strong. Love isn't sin, hate is. Applause thundered. Paige in the audience rushed backstage. You're okay. I'm here. Sienna trembled in her arms. Is this endless? The fight. Post-event, deep reflection hit during the flight home. I've changed laws, inspired minds, but at what personal cost? She confided to Paige. Lost years, strained loves, constant vigilance. Paige held her hand. The cost of authenticity. And it's worth every scar because look at us now. The family breakthrough accelerated. Dad emailed unexpectedly. Saw your conference speech online. It made me think. Proud in my own way. Cryptic but a crack in the armor. Sienna replied thoughtfully. Pride means acceptance, Dad. Let's talk. A dinner followed. Awkward at first with stilted conversations. Her father admitted. I was scared for you, for your soul. Sienna countered. My soul is fine. It's my heart you broke. Tears from all sides but progress. We're learning, her mother added. Dad nodded gruffly. As summer waned, Sienna pondered the full arc of her journey. The shocking betrayal by Harper. The $20,000 spent on illusions. The confrontations that fractured and rebuilt. Victories tallied, self-acceptance won. Love reclaimed. Societal voices amplified. Losses acknowledged. Innocence shattered. Easy familial bonds severed then mended tentatively. In a quiet evening of journaling by the window, Sienna wrote, Decisions define us. The right ones often hurt the most, demanding sacrifices that echo long after. Paige read it over her shoulder, smiling softly. Our story's proof of that. And it's not over yet. The narrative culminated in a pivotal, intimate choice. Under the twinkling city lights on their balcony, Sienna proposed to Paige with a simple ring. Despite every trial, every price paid, will you build forever with me? Paige's eyes shone. Yes, 1,000 times. The commitment sealed their resilience, but shadows of ongoing societal battles loomed. Bills pending, prejudices persisting. Was forcing change through confrontation the only path to truth? Or does quiet persistence heal more wounds?